So in part B of this lesson, we are doing the same thing. We're multiplying different exponential expressions together, but now with a few different variables and numbers. That way not everything is going to be simplified together. We're going to see a little bit more complicated simplified forms. So in this first problem, we're going to go through this using the expanded version and the rule, and then the last two we're going to use just the rule. So let's go ahead and expand this, what we have. X times x, y times y times y times y 4 times, times x 3 times. Alright, so this is what we have expanded. So if we look down here, we have x how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X being multiplied together 5 times. Times, we're not adding anything, times y being multiplied together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So this will actually simplify to x to the 5th times y to the 7th, right? Because it's 5 times and 7 times, those become our exponents of our variables x and y. Now using our rule, let's simplify this again and see if we get the same answer that we just, or expression that we just found. So this will equal x to the 2 plus 3, right? Because again, we are adding our exponents if they have the same base. So notice how I only added the exponents of the x's, right? 2 and 3. Now we're multiplying y to the 3rd plus 4. Right? So we're adding the exponents of the y, or of the y's now. So simplify this, you get x to the 5th times y to the 7th. Now these are indeed the same, so our expanded and our rule worked. Just make sure that when you do have multiple variables, you are only, or numbers, you are adding exponents that have the same base. So like I couldn't add 2 and 4 because one of them is for x and one of them is for y. So just make sure you pay attention to that. Okay. Now looking at 2 and 3, we're not going to expand anymore to double check our work. We're just going to use the rule since we've used it quite a few times now. So using the rule, let's simplify this expression. We have x squared times m squared times y to the 4th times m to the 10 times y to the 3rd. So we have x squared, and notice how there's no other x terms or anything with an x base. So that just stays as x squared. We're multiplying by m to the 2 plus 10, right? And we're multiplying that by y to the 4 plus 3. So now simplify completely. We have x squared times m to the 12th times y to the 7th. So this is our final simplified expression, right, for number 2. Now number 3, let's do the same thing, but now we don't have variables, we have numbers as our bases. So again, simplify this, we have 3, and we have 2 3 bases with exponents 2 and 3. So we have 3 to the 2 plus 3 times 2 to the 3rd. There's no other term with a 2 as the base, so it's just 2 to the 3rd. So let's fully simplify it. We have 3 to the 5th times 2 to the 3rd. Now you can plug that into your calculator. If you do that, it becomes, you can plug them in together or separately. If you do it separately, it's 243 times 8, right? This one's easier to do with a calculator, and then 2 to the 3rd is just 2 times 2 times 2, which becomes 8. Multiply that together, you get a final solution of 1,944. Now just make sure you are paying attention again to making sure that when you are adding your exponents, they have the same base.